I saw tremendous growth in myself and the way I interacted with Jay and Hannah over the course of the semester, both regarding them as students with disabilities and also just students who attend school. My passion and love for kids has grown considerably, and it really put things in perspective in terms of why kids, both gen ed classroom and separate classroom, can substantially benefit from having students like the JME volunteers there. A skill that I learned includes being able to identify other forms of communication besides verbal. Since Hannah and Jay aren't able to speak, they ask for things and tell people things in different ways. Hannah's very expressive about what she wants or needs through body language, while Jay makes lots of noises, and that is his way of communicating. The louder he got, the more indicative it was of what he wanted. In terms of thinking and acting differently, I think the biggest result is just related to how much better I understand students with disabilities. I now understand so much more fully other ways students will communicate, how to recognize what they want to do, and also just the proper mannerisms and the proper way to act in situations with students with disabilities. My in-class learning experience has increased my knowledge exponentially of students with disabilities as well. What I love about this class is that what we learn in class, we have the opportunity to go and see and do those things in a real-world setting, and that's something you can't do for a lot of other classes. There are several things that contribute to the success of a project like this, but I think the most important ones are collaboration, patience and understanding, and efficiency. Being able to work with my CSL partner, the other JMU peers, and the students themselves is so incredibly crucial to success in a setting like this. I think a lack of any of those things previously mentioned could severely hinder the success of a project like this one. Another thing that could hinder the success would be a lack of caring or a lack of engagement. In order to successfully work with students with disabilities, you have to be engaged and you have to want to be there. Putting in the work and time is hard, but like with anything, the rewarding feeling makes it worth it. The biggest thing I learned is how differently some sensations are for Hannah and Jay, and how that goes to show how different they are for everyone, especially students with disabilities. Figuring out that Jay was more likely to be engaged with sound and Hannah more likely to be engaged with movement, it led me in the right direction in figuring out what I wanted to do with them in terms of learning. I would love to learn more about the best ways to reinforce behavior. That is something I sort of struggled with during my time with Hannah and Jay, and I feel like reinforcement is a crucial part to anything related to behavior and learning. Prior to my experience, I was under the impression that communication with kids with disabilities was minimal and barely accessible. Now, after my experience, I know that this isn't the case, and communication with special ed students is just different, and there are ample ways to go about doing it. The biggest thing I learned about myself is probably realizing that I can definitely see myself working in a field with kids. I've never been the babysitting type, or I've never had younger siblings, so I really never have been exposed to an environment like this. I also learned that kids with special needs are brilliant, amazing individuals who deserve nothing but the best, and that they're a group of people who I will want to have in my life forever. So that's my story and my experience during my community service learning project. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.